Hello YouTube world and behavior modification enthusiasts. I'm Jamie Lee, and in this video I will be discussing how to quit smoking using behavior modification principles. As you all may know, smoking cigarettes and the addiction to nicotine is detrimental to your health and to the health of the people around you who may be experiencing secondhand smoke. Quitting smoking or smoking cessation greatly reduces your risk of developing smoking-related illnesses. So I'm here today to help you quit smoking. First of all, we need to understand what smoking means to you. What are the reasons you're smoking? What keeps you smoking? And what do you get out of smoking? So in behavior modification terms, we are going to conduct a functional assessment. This will be done through the observation of the ABCs. A being the antecedent of the target behavior, B being the target behavior we wish to modify, smoking cigarettes, and C being the consequence of the target behavior. The functional assessment will also help us to establish a baseline of the target behavior. The baseline is a period where no treatment is implemented. This is usually 5 to 7 days. To do this functional assessment, we will conduct an indirect observation. This will be an interview between you and your friend or counselor and the client. They will gather information regarding the antecedent and the consequence of the target behavior. Also, you or the client will conduct or complete a functional assessment form for every cigarette smoked. In this form, the client or yourself will establish or identify the date, the time, the location, who was present when the behavior occurred, what activities, events preceded the target behavior, what were you doing before the target behavior, describe how you felt before the target behavior, and describe how you felt after the target behavior, and any other additional comments you'd like to add in respect to triggers to the target behavior. Although this may seem a bit redundant, be reassured that this functional assessment form must only be completed during the baseline period. By completing a functional assessment form, we are determining which antecedents and consequences are reliably associated with the occurrence of the behavior. We are also identifying the frequency of the target behavior. Once we complete a functional assessment, review all the information gathered, and determine which intervention method is most appropriate for you or for your client. Now we are going to discuss different types of intervention methods. The more intervention methods you apply, the more likely you are for a successful outcome. Today I will be discussing self-management and establishment of alternative behaviors. Within self-management, the client or yourself may use some or all of the self-management strategies. The self-management strategies I will be discussing today are goal setting, self-monitoring, antecedent control or manipulation, social support, behavioral contracting, self-instructions, and self-praise. Self-monitoring the frequency of smoking cigarettes in itself may help to decrease the occurrence of smoking cigarettes. I suggest keeping a pad and pencil with you and tallying the frequency of smoking cigarettes. Goal setting is setting a specific number of cigarettes smoked for each day per week. Each goal set must be achievable. For example, if you or your client smoke 10 cigarettes per day on average, the goal for the first week of intervention may be 8 cigarettes per day for the first week. The second week, 6 cigarettes per day, and so forth. Ensuring that a smoking cessation date of 0 cigarettes per day is established at the end for at least 1 week of the intervention period. Now we can add self-praise and social support. So for each day a goal is achieved, you will provide yourself with self-praise. Also, if you are helping a friend or a client, you will have that client text you or call you the frequency of occurrences of cigarettes smoked, and you'll provide them with praise. If they do not achieve their goal, still provide them with praise for the effort that they've put in to quit smoking. Providing praise every day and immediately is essential for ensuring motivation for that client or for yourself. It is also very valuable to talk to your family, to your friends about the goals that you've set and about what you want to achieve. Keeping them involved will help you in quitting smoking. Their support can help you stay motivated and remind you of what you want to accomplish. Antecedent control or manipulation is modifying your environment in some ways before the occurrence of the behavior. For example, if there is someone that increases the likelihood of your smoking, maybe spending less time with that person or no time at all will decrease the likelihood of smoking your cigarettes, therefore manipulating your antecedent. Behavioral contracting involves the establishment of a written document. This document determines information about your intervention period, including the antecedent and the consequences, and reinforcers. This document must be signed by yourself and the contract manager. You must try to abide by this behavioral contract. Also, self-instructions is another way of keeping you on track. It is the process of reminding you of the goals that you set, of the contract established, and any other instructions you've given yourself during the intervention period. Lastly, I will be discussing the establishment of alternative behaviors. Alternative behaviors must attempt to elicit functionally equivalent responses. Some of these behaviors may be having a cup of coffee or tea or water, chewing sugar-free gum, going for a walk with your dog or friends, working out, possibly using a stress ball, maybe meditating and urge surfing. Also, nicotine replacement therapies, such as nicotine patch, nicotine gum, and e-cigarettes. Not all of these behaviors will be practical for every situation. It is important that the alternative behaviors that you choose are effective for you personally, and realizing that using different alternative behaviors in different situations is essential. For example, if you're feeling stressed and want a cigarette, chewing gum may not be effective. However, meditating or urge surfing may be the way to go. Also, if you are craving nicotine, working out or going for a walk may not help. However, chewing nicotine gum or the patch or the e-cigarette may do the trick. It is important to match the antecedent and the consequent with the alternative behavior so that the alternative behavior will be reinforced by the consequence. To review, complete a functional assessment and baseline. Determine which intervention methods are most appropriate for you or for your client. Establish these intervention methods for a period of 4 to 5 weeks. The intervention methods I used today were self-management and alternative behaviors. You can find more information on www.quitnow.gov.au. Lastly, it is important to continue to monitor your behavior to ensure smoking cessation has occurred. If not, I suggest discussing what worked and what did not work throughout the intervention period, completing an additional functional assessment, and applying any behavior modification techniques you need to for an additional intervention period. Well, I truly hope this video helps you. Thank you, and good luck!